Hey y'all, Kasak Maya Keperu here for Project Illuminated. And this is actually my favorite section. It's very healthy. You got your tofu sausages and hot dogs and chicken, and it's all very healthy. Tofu turkey, which is good. See right there. You can make your sandwiches and everything. But I'll come back to that section a little later. But what I wanted to talk to you today about was the idea of culture. I'm sorry, I'm drinking my green tea. You have those in the conspiracy theory arena who make their careers off basically presenting really valuable and good information to help bring about a revolution or help change the world for the better. But unfortunately, you have to understand that when you're a hammer, all you see is nails. So the world is dominated by the left hemisphere of the brain, which is segregative in nature. It's seeking to label, define, split hairs, show how things are separate but not together. So this is opposed to the right brain, which is cognitive in thinking, and it seeks to unite, seeks to show how things have commonality. So in the ancient mythology of the Egyptians, God Sebek, which is the left brain, took control of the throne from Osir or Osar and was ruling for a bit, but then Oset was able to reunite the pieces of Osar and bring him back to life, and he took over the throne from Sebek. Well, Sebek, let's put it this way, it wasn't necessarily Sebek, but it was Set. Let's say it that way. Sebek assisted Set in overthrowing or usurping the throne from Osir. But the point is, what I'm trying to make is that the left hemisphere of the brain is what is ruling right now. And Sebek deals with the idea of facts. It deals with the idea of knowledge and information. But it's not so much intuitive. It's not so much truth. It is more on basically factual data, which can't necessarily lead you to the truth. Now, let me just go a bit further in what I'm saying. It is not enough to understand the truth, you have to be the truth. So when we see these conspiracy theorists and these people, and let's say for the African centric revolutionary movement, that are espousing these great ideas and trying to illuminate the world, what we have to keep in mind is that all of this means nothing if it doesn't bring about a culture or way of life that indoctrinates you into that type of living. So you can segregate your life by saying, hey, listen, I can understand the information, but I don't have to live the information. And this is a lot what Christians do. They go to church on Sundays, and the other 6 days of the week, they live a very foul existence. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is that for all of those who are seeking truth, it's not enough that you understand it and that you keep a database of worldly knowledge. And I've met many people who had really these hard drives just overflowing with the greatest information, but their personal lives were a wreck. You have got to be involved in some type of initiation to where culturally you're living a spiritual existence, not a religious existence, but a spiritual existence that is 24/7. And this is the way all indigenous cultures lived. It is only when we look at the cultures of the Greek and Roman civilizations and from that point onward that we see there became the segregation of things, the segregation of science from religion, the separation from, let's say, education from government, And of course, you have those on the polar opposite who will say that, there has to be a separation between church and state. And that's because you have this dialectic that can't see that you can merge things and things can become one without being contradictory. That's very important. And if you go to the Temple of Ma'at and understand Ma'at, she is a holistic approach to everything where nothing is contradictory, everything is complementary. So I want you to keep that in mind for those who are engaged in knowledge gathering and trying to enlighten themselves. It actually will mean nothing until you indoctrinate yourself into that initiation process to where you're spiritually living out what you are learning and what you are teaching. Otherwise, you're really not going to save the planet. You're not going to save yourself because you can't live what I call is that honeycomb effect. That means that your mindset is divided into like a beehive of honeycombs, where you have these different sections that are independent of one another, but not connected or working with one another for the betterment of the whole. So you'll find this in psychology too, where people can keep multiple personalities within themselves that are sometimes surface, but it can lay within the mind in the shadow self for years and never surface. And there are these dual personalities that are within them that people don't know about. And society as a collective, as a whole, we have that going on. We have a very dangerous shadow self that has become an entity of spirit that is dominating the planet. And that spirit, of course, is the left brain. The spirit of the left brain, which is creating the conflicts in the world based on the idea that everything is separate, that my political affiliations or my ideas or my ideology is better than yours, and there you go. There you have war, you have conflict, and there you have Sebek ruling the planet, or we can say Set, if you want to use that. But when I said that if you're a hammer, everything you see is a nail, I meant that if you're operating out of the left brain, everything you see then becomes a separation of the whole, and there is no unification. Everything is opposing and not complementary. So therein lies the danger. And a lot of people in certain movements tend to create these enemies where there doesn't need to be an enemy. Surely there are some people who are doing wrong and things need to change, of course, but you have to be very careful in how you're naming, defining, and tagging things, because inevitably your spirit enacts upon that and creates the reality that is around you. Because your spirit is constantly creating what your strongest and dominant emotional belief system is about. So I'd better get back to shopping because I have a lot of stuff I have to do here. I think this is made out of avocado here. It looks interesting. But anyway, this is Josakma Keperu for Project Illuminated, and that's all for now.